Jesus today is a God of abundance. You may have noted that he continues for the last 4 Sundays to be talking about bread. That's abundance of bread, let me tell you. Lots of bread. Everywhere we go, we can't get away from bread these days. When we come into church, there's just amazing amounts. It's abundant. Everywhere we go, there is bread. And I was thinking about bread. Now we come to church and we usually get a little wafer, right? Just like Zarina was talking about last week. A little piece of, well, it doesn't look like bread, but it is. It still is bread. Sometimes, as Zarina suggested last week, and what we're going to do this week is have some real bread. This time it will be pita bread. Because bread is abundant. I don't know about you, but the last time I've been to the store, there's more than just Wonder Bread on the shelf. And so we might as well figure out and taste other forms of bread. Jesus sat down with his disciples, not with a little wafer, and probably not even with pita bread, but an abundance of bread that goes on and on. This Jesus and this day, I started to think about the abundance in my life. And not just at the grocery store. Not just in, I was thinking about this in the same way of bread. You can go and get milk, right? If Jesus lived today, we would say he blessed bread and milk, right? Because you have to go to the store to get bread and milk. There are 16 kinds of milk, Sandy, at Shaw's. 16 kinds of just milk. Whole, 1%, 2%, and whole, right, and all the rest, and skim, and all the rest of it. It's amazing. And then I go down and just into my closet. Think of the abundance of clothing that is just there. I think about the abundance of my vestments that we all get to share in the joy and beauty of God. It's abundance. I am the bread, Jesus said. I am the abundance that is with you. Nothing more and nothing less than the most amazing abundance we'll ever have. For I, Jesus says, am the life of the world. I feed you with bread. I am that fullness of abundance that is ever here and always was and always will be. I am with you always. We can't escape the abundance of God. So we're going to go to a table, and I'll tell you, one of the things I've always wanted to do is to pick up this table and put it right here. Actually, probably more about right here. Because that table that feeds everyone should never be separated from anyone. The table that is set at a special part in our building, yes, it's a special place for it, should at times come down and be also in the midst of us. Why? Because Jesus is the abundance of God with us, not always apart or ever apart from us. So maybe one day you'll come in here and find the table in the middle of the church. Don't put it past me. I might do it someday, Rick. Why? Because Jesus is always feeding everyone. Now, I was thinking about this prayer that I start with, right? God of abundance, God of abundance. And Jesus says, I am the bread. I am the bread that never stops. I am the bread that feeds the world. I am the abundance. So we're going to go to that table. And then we're going to come back and sit down and have some quiet time after we receive communion. And then we together are going to say a prayer. It's called the post-communion prayer. And I brought it with me so I won't forget it. But I shouldn't be too worried. It says, O God of abundance, you have fed us with the spiritual food of the bread of life and the cup of salvation. We have been fed. Isn't that amazing? It doesn't say, you just had a little meal. You just had this little thing of bread that's flat and a little sip of wine or a little dunk of it. No, he said, you have been fed. And we have been fed. We are the people that have been fed. It's amazing because it doesn't stop. This feeding, Sunday after Sunday, day after day, world after world, God feeds, Jesus says. And we say it too. We have been fed, that we have been united, and that we have been made one. Now, those are big statements, what we say. We say them to ourselves, we say them to one another, and we say to the God of abundance that they're true. And sometimes we say things in church that we don't always understand, but that we hope one day will live. That we hope one day is true. That which we do unifies, feeds, and connects. But don't think you're off the hook by simply saying, O God of abundance. Because at the end of that prayer that we say, send us now. Send us out that door. Send us into the streets of Stowe and Mooresville and Waterbury and New York City and California. Send us into the world. Why? Because you're the God of abundance. You've fed us. You've invited us. You've called us. You've given to us. You've shared with us. Now Jesus says, go with that bread. Go with that wine. Be as I have fed you. This table, you may have noted, is never closed. Those doors are never locked. People can be in here, we can be in here at all times being fed by God. So are we when we leave here. We are bread, Jesus says. We become the bread of life for the world. All that abundance becomes part of our hands and our feet. It goes into our heads, into our hearts. It infuses into our lives, whether we own it, embrace it, love it, or don't even know. God is with us in the abundance of bread. There's a little statement that we teach children about how to eat. As they're surveying at lunch period all that's sitting on their table, on their plate in front of them, vegetables, maybe a sandwich and some fruit, and then there's the candy bar, right? And then they go home and they see the pizza. And we say to them, you are what you eat. We are the living bread of God.